Good morning. Whew, I haven't been posting videos for a minute, and then I got a really strong message this morning that it was time, and then I'm starting something new. So it's something that I've known for years, since I was younger, that and I've always, anyway, years since I was younger, that I was supposed to do, and I do it in my personal life often. I can't stop myself from doing it, and I guess that's part of the practice, is to learn how to share that in a bigger way when it's time, when I feel ready. And the call came, and so what that is I had quite a few dreams last night, and there's a lot of symbology, a lot of different things going on, a lot of different spaces. None of it's really, it wasn't like a storyline. One wasn't connected to the other. And when this happens, I've always wondered what would happen if I started sharing that with people, and seeing what kind of feedback comes back, what kind of information maybe comes through in the moment as I share it. Been tracking my dreams for years and years and years, and living my life according to them. And I've always known about that power and gift within myself, so we're gonna go through what came up last night. Today is January 16th, 2026. So some powerful numerology in this, which is fun. Okay. First of all, I would love it if you would like to join me in taking some breaths together and connecting into the center of our bodies, and just having some reverence for ourselves and for life, and asking for Great Spirit, for Source, Frequency, God, the universe, just asking for the divine to be here, for Spirit to be here, and to move through me in a good way, for the benefit of anyone who this lines up with to receive. So we're going to take some big breaths in, so breathing in and then holding it at the top. Holding. Starting to feel the body. We're going to let it out slowly, all the way to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, hold it as well in that space. All the way out. Hold it. Breathing in when you're ready. Holding it at the top. You can suck in more air if you want. Relaxing the body while you're holding it. Feeling your heartbeat. Getting comfortable in the space. Letting it out. All the way to the bottom. All the way to where you could suck in your diaphragm if you wanted. Suck in your diaphragm. Breathing in. Holding it. Moving around if you need to. asking all of our energy to drop in, to be here, and letting it out. Shaking it out if you want. Making some noises. Just getting present with your body, with your delicious self. Okay. So, the first dream that came through last night was I was interacting with a creature. Wow, in this moment I want to say it was a platypus, but it wasn't in the dream, but we're still gonna let that come out because it was some type of creature that I wasn't quite sure what it was. So I think it was a mix between like a platypus and an opossum. But it did have a long snout, and at one point it like kissed me with its little tongue, which was like such a silly experience. And it was speaking to me, and it was showing me, I feel like I had weight on my back, and it felt like other people, almost as if I was carrying other humans and people with me, but it's like physically they weren't there. And the opossum was trying to show me how to hang onto it, like around its belly, and where I could grab on, which was like such a weird experience because I didn't want to hurt it, but it wanted me to hold on so that it could like take me down and through some passageway. So that's how the images began. And I do feel like we went down. So we went into the subconscious is what I would, my first inclination would be about that. We went down. Let me connect in with the next part, with the next snippet that I was shown. What's coming through is that the next part was I was with a woman. It's a client I have, a beautiful, very psychic woman. And she was, I feel like we were drinking like water, but it was like from Burger King, but it was yummy water, but it was like Burger King cups. And she was helping me sort through clothes to bag them up to give them away. So that was the process she was going through with me. And I do feel like she walked into this other space with me where another situation started happening. I feel like she was there in support, really. And which was very nice, comforting to feel. The next part of the dream was a little not fun. It didn't feel good. I was with my dad, and I was with a bunch of other men. I was with an older gentleman, grandpa. He, I don't know what ethnicity he was, but he was different ethnicity. It felt very indigenous. He was very just like sure of himself and just going along and doing things, not really like asking consent. But he came up to me and he really quickly hooked this device. It was a metal device with a clamp at the end, and he like hooked it up into my belly button and around the skin, and it was like he was prepping me for something, almost as if you're gonna get like a piercing there or something. He like stuck it in there and he's like, there, now you're ready. And I was like, whoa, okay. And because it just happened so fast, but then afterwards I was feeling the pain, and I took it off and realized he had clamped it so fast it like ripped my skin. And I remember showing my dad. I remember like looking down and like looking into it to really see how much the skin was ripped. And I was showing my dad like, whoa, like This was pretty intense. And he hurt me. I don't know if he knew that he hurt me or that it had ripped, that the man who did it. He was just like fulfilling what he needed to do, kind of thing. And that was that clip. That was each one was just like this clip. Then we moved on to the next piece. The next one that's coming through was I was downstairs in a home, and this one's a little bit muddy for me, I think, because the feelings were difficult and there was a lot of mental confusion, but I was with two men, and one of them was upset about the business deal that they had, the business contract or agreement that these two men had. And he was just kind of he was like putting his foot down, saying, I'm just gonna do it this way, how I want to do it, which was like cutting the other guy out. It felt like an extreme move that he was taking that felt not inclusive. It felt like he was cutting the other person off without being willing to like talk or consider other options. And I feel like I was there in support of the other man who this was happening to, and was trying to speak to this first guy to see if there was any space in his field to consider other options and to consider like working through the emotional experience of whatever it was that had gone down between these two guys. Oof. This incense is strong. It's good, but it's strong. Okay. And that was that. The next part of the dream, again, I was downstairs in a home. Going downstairs, usually, like I said, would symbolize going into a subconscious area. So if I am picking up on like signs or symbols that are connected to anyone who hears this message, feel free to leave a comment. It'll be interesting to see who this ends up reaching and at what time, because I'm letting you know the date, but it's these a lot of things that I see are premonitory. They're before it happens. So usually within like a 2-week period, then I know I'll see in my life it'll all come through in the physical reality. But the dream world prepares. It's wild. It's pretty cool how the psyche is picking up on that kind of information that's moving and then comes into physical form. So the next part of the dream, downstairs in this area, it was like I was with a group of people, and this man walked up to me, and he seemed like he knew me, like he was a friend. I couldn't recall like how I knew him, but I was like sitting on a desk, and he quickly he came up and was letting me know like he needed his back popped, his back adjusted, and he climbed up onto my lap like a little kid would, like facing me, and put his legs around me and his arms around my shoulders. So I was hugging him, and his head's looking that way, and I was like, okay, and he seemed so comfortable with me. I was just like, all right, I guess we've done this before, and he trusts me. I would say he's a little bit taller than me. He had a beard, a little bit longer hair, kind of a thinner man, but strong. And that's what, when he climbed up on me, I was like, I don't know, I hope I have the strength to do this for him. And so, but he seemed so confident that we'd done it before, that I just went into it with him and started telling him, okay, I'm gonna stand up and hold your weight as I, position you, and then you're gonna release your weight and let your body drop so that I can push and pop your back. And I was going into that process with him when, again, the scene changed, and I was still in a downstairs area, and there was 2 different groups of parents. It was like ex-boyfriends' parents were coming down, and it felt like they had some grievances with me. At least that's how I was taken in the dream. It felt like they had grievances with me, and like wanted to discuss it. And that, again, the feelings were very uncomfortable. So those are all the different images and snippets that I was given last night, and it was a lot. It's a lot of different things, and so yeah. I think what I wanted to do next is just like pull a few cards. I've never done this before. I'm not really like I don't know. It was like a cliche thing to do, but that's like what I was like being shown to do this morning, was to explain the dream imagery, and then just pull a few cards and speak from my heart around whatever like comes up, symbology and whatnot. Okay, so I'm gonna tilt this down. I just want to do floor space. The first cards that I'm going to use are Spirit Animal Oracle. I definitely have a lot of creature guardians that I've been shown. Like my angels aren't humanoid. It's a critter crew. So animals symbology. Okay. This one wants to come through. Number 2, it's Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. So pretty. What stands out to me first in this one is the horns on this antelope. Look like the figure 8 in there, and it is directly on its side, so it's that is symbolic of infinity, the infinity symbol. The number 2 is standing out, and actually as I look at it in the camera, it looks like a sun that's directly over this antelope. The other card that wanted to come out, interesting, is 62. So 8 and a 2. Aww. Honu in Hawaiian. The turtle is called Honu, I believe. And this is Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. It cracks me up because it's so sorry. The antelope is life is speeding up with exclamation mark. And then the turtle comes out, slow and steady wins the race. Oh my God, the irony. That's ridiculous. It's like, what do you want me to do? Like the energies lately, like what do you... And on the bottom of the deck is 6-1, and it's Coyote Spirit. So that's one sits in between these two. And it says, trust in divine detours. So that's what's like hidden underneath this experience. Yeah, is to trust in the divine detours. So there's going to be some detours, there's going to be some distractions, or there's going to be some like disruptions to what we want, what we think is like the way, the plans that we have and what we're doing, like yeah, this isn't the best angle, but you know, it works. We'll figure it out over time. Yeah, so to go with the flow, honestly, is what all of these together is coming out. Go with the flow right now. Turtles, they ride the waves, you know, they ride the currents, and they allow themselves to be moved. They do push themselves hard when they're babies, I would say, for survival, but then they get to spend their life being held in the water and allowing themselves to flow and find the currents, and very peaceful creatures. So it's like we're being asked to find that part of ourselves at the same time. This is so funny because we're entering the year of the horse, and this antelope is giving a lot of that like fire energy. There's like dust and it looks like fire almost coming off of its back, and there is the red energy coming out in here. Yeah, and this is very like what is the word that I'm trying to find for what this antelope, it's like majestic. There's some reverence for the things that are speeding up, for the reason why things are speeding up, because of the energy. Reverence for the like majesty of the energy that's wanting to come through. So life is speeding up, and I think what I've been experiencing is a lot of like, there's moments of like, hey, it's go time, and be ready to go, and then you gotta remember to find the space to just sit. So there's different symbology coming up in that message of for me, like a tiger, understanding like this incredible animal's strength, a tiger or a lion, a large cat, that for the most part they lay around, you know, they lay, they rest, they observe, like, oh, they're not doing much. But when it's time for that animal, when they feel that inclination and the inspiration is there to hunt and to go achieve something, the kill, you know, like bam, they're there. And the strength of that creature is that is a force to reckon with. So like these might seem like opposites, but there really is a balance here. I'm learning that balance of when it's time to rest and wait and observe for when that energy comes. It is a wave. So the turtle is like, there's this wave, and this is, if you watch surfers, this is what they do. They go out and they sit on their boards and they wait and they watch, and they're floating and they're being held, they're being moved, and they take time to like position themselves in the right spot. And then when that set comes and the ocean start, you know, and then they're ready to go, and bam, they take off, you know. So that's what I think the message is that's coming through right now. How to find that for yourself and give that grace to yourself in each one. Yeah, And that's why then Coyote spirit underneath, trust in divine detours. And Coyote can always be kind of, they're like a trickster spirits. So trickster spirits come in and yeah, they create detours and maybe disruptions and letting go that none of it is right or wrong or like bad or evil necessarily. There are forces that move that will kind of shift what we thought we wanted to do to a different path. And ultimately, you know, everything in creation is part of Gaia. And so all of it has a purpose and a function. So remembering to give gratitude and thanks to the things that feel like adversaries, or the things that feel like disruptions, the things that feel like obstacles. If something's standing in your way from being able to move, you know, give it thanks, and sit down and wait, you know. Maybe it's helping you remember it's not time to move yet. And we're all still learning how to feel out what that is for each one of us, because we've been so conditioned to function according to like a planned calendar and a set time, and each of our bodies functions along its own timeline. That message came through really strongly this week for me. Like even though like everyone celebrated New Year's, that was not New Year's for me, for my body. Like I just felt it for myself this week, and that's literally according to my body's cycle, and also like what then in correlation outwardly what's happening in my own life, because I've been in a big transitionary period. So okay, this is getting long. That's the message. Those are the symbols. That's what came through last night. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of excitement in this moment to start sharing in this way and getting to connect in a larger way through the beautiful tool of technology. So yeah, that's, you know, seeding a prayer into this, that this is, you know, just the beginning of some really, really cool connections, a really cool community, you know, of my energy calling out for who else I'm meant to be here for, and who else is meant to be here for me, and the divine Leela, the dance that's gonna be happening in this coming year and in like the next 10 years. Whew, it's really, yeah, I feel excited. So remember, take care of yourself, drink some water. Let's end with another breath together, breathing in, holding it at the top, sipping in more air if you want, and also relaxing your shoulders. Breathing out together, letting out noise if you want, all the way to the bottom, and holding it at the bottom for just a couple seconds. Breathing in when you're ready. And out. All right. So much love. I will talk to you all soon. Peace.